Hi, it's Silas from That Christmas Autism Girl. Welcome back to my channel. So, in this video, we're going to be talking about Bella and Will, the most hated mermaid love story from H2O. So, yeah, a lot of people don't like Bella and Will. I kind of understand why. So, chapter 1 Meeting. So, Bella's the new girl in town. Will's a new girl in town. Bella's secretly a mermaid. She became one. She was 9. And, how she's instantly smitten with him, and he's like, okay, whatever. So she takes him around the island, and then she agrees to keep their secret from him. And then chapter 2, we have pining and stalking. So at this point, she's kind of like wondering why why Will can't know that they're mermaids, as Lewis and Ricky's boyfriend Zane both know that they are mermaids, and so she ends up stalking him a lot, like when he goes diving and pining for him. And it's just kind of like, well, there you go. Chapter 3, which brings us to chapter 3, Discovery. So at one point, he's very suspicious of her and her being a mermaid. So at one point, he pours water on her and forces her to share her secret with him. And then they kind of bond. Then she takes him diving, but then she realizes he's only interested in her as a mermaid, not as a girl. So then she rejects him and goes, "Stay away from me." And then that's all fine. But then later, after he's been trying to win her back, she ends up, which brings us to chapter 4, where rediscovery, where she ends up, Ricky's kidnapped, so then they have to reveal to Will that they're mermaids. And so he knows their secret and protects them. Which brings us to chapter 5, friendship. So they're pretty good friends at this point. He's helpful. He's spending more time with Ricky and then she saves his life when he almost drowns. So then he becomes closer to Ricky. Which brings us to chapter 6, where Will wants to ask Bella to the beach party, but then he wants to practice on Ricky, which Bella overhears and believes that he asked Ricky instead of her. So she's hurt and ends up asking Nate, but then he gets jealous, and so then he goes with Ricky, and then in the end, they become a couple. So one point, he breaks away from free diving because of what she says, and so it's pretty cool. Which brings us to chapter 7, being a couple. So at one point, they're kind of finding they don't have that much in common, and then Zane pressures Will into taking interest in Bella, but then it ends up causing all these problems, and they have this big fight, but then they make up underwater and kiss, and it's really sweet. And then they realize they have a lot in common, and they're going to bond over the sea. So yeah, that's Bella and Will's story. So if you want individual clips from them, watch the H2O Mermaid channel. But I'm here to talk about them and why I don't really care for them. So she starts spicing. The story begins by her being smitten. But then she starts stalking him, and that's kind of creepy. And then he treats her kind of badly because then he finds out she's a mermaid, and so it causes him to use her as a mermaid, causes her to realize. And then when they're actually a couple, you're like, what? Why are you acting this way? You're not really being loyal to each other. So yeah, so I'm not the biggest fan of Belle and Will, but I feel like they're not the worst couple out there, but they're definitely not very good. So that all wraps it up for this video. If you have any questions, please send me an email at the comment below or comment here. And hope you have a great day. If you enjoyed this video, like it, comment, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. See you later.